And you know what's worrying me for them is this Monday, wake up, double tragedy. You lose this final, and then you lose one of your
Greatest businessman.
You know, in Africa, our new liberation is an economic one. So these guys who start these companies, these business moguls, are important for the continent, right? Because of the way their businesses are able to bring things back home. You know, Chase Manhattan and all these big global banks. Right now, Access, Zenith, what's the name of the other one?
UBA.
UBA. They are the African giants. All right, think about it. Globally, Chase Manhattan, Morgan Stanley, and these big banks. USB, is that the name? UBS, I forget the name. Big banks. Big banks are important for economic development. South Africans had the biggest bank for many years. All right, and the Nigerians woke up like 20 years ago, and we're seeing UBA, we're seeing Access Bank, we're seeing Zenith Bank, we're seeing First Bank of Nigeria to propel the economic development. All right, and the kind of president they have now, who's very business minded. This guy was going to become he's already become a very important guy for the continent, you know. So look, there are so many bank jobs in Ghana who wouldn't have existed if the Nigerian banking renaissance hadn't happened.
Yeah.
So that thing they did in 2002, 2003,
realign
that brought all these banks to Ghana, it even changed the way we did banking. This cashless bank account, advertisement, it was the Nigerian banks who even showed us the commercial marketing side of banking. Because prior to their coming, the banks were comfortable. All right, the Nigerian banks. I think the radio industry in Ghana for a long time was sustained by advertising for the Nigerian banks, you know. And this guy, I was privileged to interview Herbert Wigwe, who at the time was the Intercontinental Bank CEO. Herbert Wigwe said he was on the credit committee that approved the loan for Access Bank to start, because the guy who ran Access Bank, he was working as a banker somewhere in the US, and then he worked first as a chartered accountant. And then I think one of the big four. Then he and his best friend said they wanted to start a bank. Like they were joking. No? And these intercontinental guys gave them a loan to start a bank. 10 years later, this bank had grown so much, they were able to buy the bank that gave them the loan to start. You know, it's a great story. And to end like this, Charlie Sky.
Tragic, man. Tragedy.
Really hard to take. To lose the man, his wife, his friend, and his son. Hey!
The same day,
Charlie,
in the same accident,
Charlie,
at the same.
Imagine if you're a relative. Imagine if you are like, you know, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's really terrible. And I feel the loss.
Yeah.
It's an African loss. Let's not. You see, we always celebrate politicians because the politician dies. This guy is a great guy.
The millions of
He's
jobs.
a great guy. He's a great guy. You
created.
know, he's a great guy.
Directly or indirectly.
Charlie, I just like that too. You know, it's really sad.